from New York to London. Done. Boom, boom. A tremendous amount of options. They live in Voronezh. So that's a tough question, actually.
Hello, Okli.
Hello, Alex. How are you?
I'm fine. Yeah, long time no see. Since 2017, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that right? Wow. Time flies.
Yeah.
Wow. It has been a while. Yeah. How are you doing? How is everything?
So everything is fine, and eventually I'm working from home as most of office employees. So I feel like you work. So I have the same. I have the same video conference sessions, maybe 5 or 6 per day, and yeah, okay. It's very challenging for me.
Yeah, my life really didn't change at all, except when I leave the house, of course. When I leave the house, then I have to wear a mask. Here in the Philippines, you have to wear a face shield.
Oh, I see. I didn't know about that.
At least in my area, you need a special quarantine pass, ID.
Oh my God.
Yeah. All that fun stuff.
It's very serious restrictions.
Yeah, they've eased off. It was much more strict. About 6 weeks, it was very strict. Lots of checkpoints and on the roads, and if you didn't live in a neighborhood, you couldn't go there. That's it. You were restricted to either the main roads to go get food or medicine. All the stores were closed. You could only get food or medicine. And yeah, you couldn't go into another barangay or neighborhood.
Oh my God, it's worse than in Russia. It's crazy situation. Yeah.
Yeah. One of my Russian students, now this really terrified me because I care a lot about this family, but because I've been working with them and they're Russians, they live in Voronezh. It really scares me because I work with their 12-year-old daughter, right? And she's telling me that 2 of her teachers got COVID. Her personal teacher, homeroom teacher's mother died of COVID.
Oh my God.
And 2 of the students in her classroom, in her homeroom, have COVID. But they still have school. I'm like, why? I'm like, do you wear masks at school? No. Do you social distance? No. I'm like, oh my God.
Maybe Russian students told you that Russia announced that we made a vaccine against virus.
Yeah. The Philippines has pre-ordered, I guess that's what you would call it. It has pre-ordered. This is interesting. The population is 105 million of the Philippines. They pre-ordered 30 million from Russia, 30 million from China, and 30 million from the United States. So they're hedging their bets in case one.
So China and States also has a vaccine.
Yeah, it's in the testing stage. I think the American ones are in the final testing phase. China is so secretive. I don't know. I think they're also, but they're really secretive, so nobody really knows. But I think they're also getting close.
Yeah. But frankly speaking, Russian vaccine is fake because it's made from all the Chinese drug. And it's not.
Oh boy. Well, the Russian government wants to set up vaccination centers in the Philippines. They want to come in and have actual Russians come here and to administer the vaccine. They want to set up centers or whatever.
They like
That's the plan.
They like it.
Yeah,
it's soft power.
Yeah, I guess so.
Uh-huh. Okay. A little bit jump from politic to Halloween.
Halloween, yeah.
It's about vocabulary and the tradition. It's so-called tricks or trips. Yes?
Not quite.
No.
Trick or
trick.
treat.
Trick or treat.
Trick or treat. That's right.
Trick or treat. Uh-huh.
Trick or treat. Smell my feet. Give me something good to eat.
So they ask. So they ask two things: or give them candy, or make some trick. Yes.
That's right. If you don't give me candy, I'm gonna do a trick on you. That's the idea.
Uh-huh.
And in fact, when I was growing up in United States, in Vermont, when I was a kid, the night before Halloween is called Cabbage Night. And this tradition goes in 100 years ago, in the 1800s, young hooligans, such as myself, would throw rotten cabbage at houses. So that's why it's called Cabbage Night. But what would happen is usually kids around 12, 13, 14, 15, that age, goes around town and throws eggs at the stores or at cars, any cars, throwing eggs, toilet papering the trees, like in the city government hall, they'd be covered with toilet paper after Cabbage Night, things like that.
I see.
Yeah, every year.
Is it specific or only for Vermont? Or?
Well, no, but I think it is kind of limited to New England, like New Hampshire, the northeastern corner. I think it's only there that they do it.
I see.
Yeah. Even the stores put soap on the glass windows so that the eggs, so they can easily wash off the eggs. Yeah. So the day before Halloween, all of the stores, it's really weird because all of the stores have totally soaped windows.
I
You rub soap on it so that it's easy to wash off. Yeah.
And according to American movies, it's totally how to say, every home are prepared for Halloween. So, for instance, you go through some neighborhood and every home they decorated and something like that. Pumpkins. Is it really? It's true, yeah?
Yeah, it's really true.
Fantastic.
I mean, like in university at the college dormitory, you're not going to do anything because there's not going to be any trick-or-treaters. But in a normal neighborhood where families live, absolutely.
Oh, that's good. And I prepared a couple of questions, not so many, from my friends.
Sure.
And one friend asked about some states, and for some reason they say about Wisconsin. Do you know something specific about this state?
It's weird. The people from Wisconsin are often referred to as cheeseheads.
No joke, yes.
Yeah, it's a joke, but seriously, like their National Football League team, the Green Bay Packers, and if you go to their games, everyone has a foam piece of cheese on their head. They love it. So you're not saying something bad about them. They love it. They embrace it. It's a Midwest.
I don't remember. Is it close to Canada? Wisconsin.
Yes, it is.
Close to
near
Yes.
It's near the Great Lakes.
I see.
It actually has one. I can't remember which one. Huron, I think. Ontario, and I think Superior and Huron. I could be wrong. It's sort of surrounded by a couple of the Great Lakes.
So it should be cold weather there.
Yes, they get very cold weather there. Exactly, they certainly do. They are known for dairy products, thus the cheesehead thing. And Milwaukee, Wisconsin is their biggest city, And Milwaukee, Wisconsin is famous for, yay, beer.
Ah, really?
Yeah.
Is it brand of beer? Some specific.
It is. There is a brand of beer called Old Milwaukee, but it is also where Budweiser started.
Oh, I know it. Yes, Budweiser.
Yeah. And there's a number. There's others.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. It's known for that. And yeah, they're.
And maybe according to the history, according to the history, if some bravery here, it means that German people, lots of German people lived there, maybe centuries ago.
Yeah.
Because they brought this tradition in States for making beer.
Yeah, I think that's correct. Yeah. And nearby states, Minnesota, which is, again, on the Canadian border, very, very cold, was originally settled by a lot of people from like Norway, Sweden, Finland. So Wisconsin and Minnesota, the people talk a little bit funny. They have a little bit of a funny kind of way of speaking. Oh, I don't know about that. They kind of talk like that. Oh, I think that's a good idea. Let's go see the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, it sounds like some from Norway or Finland. You're right. Yeah,
it's a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of sounds cute actually. It's kind of funny. Makes me smile when I hear it.
And I remember before the pandemic, I visited U.S. Embassy. They had a special culture program, and you can hear some lectures about traditions, about culture, and it was a lecture about nationals in states. And do you know who is the largest nation which came to states and which made America population?
Ooh, that's a tough question because they've always come. It's been a wave, like a wave of Irish people came during the potato famine, for example. A wave of Italian immigrants came. A wave of Chinese came at one point. So that's a tough question, actually. I really don't know.
I can say you answer. And surprise, it's Germans. So if you count every waves, the largest amount of people is from Germany.
Really?
Okay. And it was some time in U.S. history that German language could be a national language. This is a fact.
Really?
Because of so many people, and there is one city and one state which have majority of German. I don't know, it's Delaware or something like that. No, Delaware, it's from Canada.
No, there is a state called Delaware.
Delaware, yes, it's Delaware. Maybe.
It might be. Yeah, I think that they must have been one of the Germans are really spread out. Like I said, the Norwegians and Northern Europeans all kind of live in that Wisconsin, Minnesota area. There's loads of Italians in New York and New Jersey. Irish are in New England, like I have Irish in me.
Really?
Lots of Chinese in California, or people of Chinese descent from that wave of immigration. But the Germans are pretty much everywhere.
Do you have some roots of Irish?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got the freckles to prove it. You bet. Yeah, my ancestors were Welsh, Wales in England, Irish, and French. All three kind of mixed up.
Okay, I see.
Typical American mongrel.
So now I more understand about you. Yes. So next question is from the same friend. Actually, he is a sailor, so that's why he know many things about many countries. and he's familiar with strict anti-drug policy in Philippines.
Yeah.
And he asked, what is advantages or disadvantages? Of course, I know about disadvantages is because you may be killed on the street. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what advantages? Do you see some advantages of this policy? No.
No. And just like every other country that uses hardline enforcement, this is just my opinion. It doesn't work. It never works. It's never worked before. Didn't work in the United States. Didn't work in Europe. Doesn't work here. It never works. It's never going to work. The way to combat drug use is, in my view, is as a mental health issue. Frankly, I think countries like Uruguay and Portugal, Canada even, have had a very good approach where they don't ostracize you and throw you in jail and throw away the keys. They try to get you engaged into some kind of counseling and work with you with social services and like that. I think it's a lot more effective. And in addition, I find it weird because I'm from the United States where there's all kinds of drugs and tons of them. All you have to do is walk into any bar and say, hey man, you know where I can get some coke? You know where I can score some weed? Yeah, sure. Talk to that guy at the end of the bar. Done. Boom, boom. Yeah. You could never do that in the Philippines. The drug problem. If the drug problem in the United States is my hand, the drug problem in the Philippines is this part of my pinky. It's tiny in comparison, but they freak out about it.
That's interesting. Yeah. And one more question about America, not about Philippines.
Yeah.
And I always argue with my brother because he is a very smart guy, but he believes in Russian propaganda, and he thinks that it's very hard to live in states because of there is no free healthcare and there is no free education. And he have example that some people broke his finger and he paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for doctors and something like that.
Probably exaggerated. I broke my foot and I checked how much it costs here in the Philippines and how much it would have cost me in America. So I did the research because I have a personal interest for obvious reasons. I broke my foot. Here it cost 60,000 pesos, which at the time 40 pesos was $1. So basically $1,500. That included surgery. I had to have my tendons reconnected. My tendons, 5 tendons had to be reconnected.
It's a serious surgery, yeah.
Yeah, serious surgery, night in the hospital. Then I had to have a cast put on, follow-up, some medication and follow-up therapy. All included $1,500. I looked it up, and in the United States, it would have been $120,000. So
it's a fact, yes.
Yeah, I don't know about just breaking a finger. That seems, I don't know, but definitely, yes, he has a point. He definitely has a point. I don't know about his exact numbers, but yeah. It's different now with Obamacare. It's different because there's certain guarantees. Your insurance company has to insure you. They can't refuse customers. Before they could, you have asthma? No, we're not going to give you insurance. Or we're going to charge you 10 times the normal amount because you have asthma. They're not allowed to do that anymore because of Obamacare.
Okay.
And with Obamacare, everyone has to be on Obamacare, but if you're really poor, basically it's free. So it's kind of scaled depending on how much money you make. They scale it so it's reasonable. So they take it out of the hands of the insurance company. Before, there's a gazillion insurance companies, and each company has 12 different possible plans. Oh, this one's 500 deductible, and this one's 1,000 deductible, but you have to pay for all your own medicine. This one's a $200 deductible, but it's twice as expensive, but it doesn't cover like cancer. They're all crazy, different. Crazy.
Yeah, I understand. So I have lots of questions. However, I understand that you may have next class, and as I said, I'm on the same page as you, so I don't know. Yeah. So maybe last question. What is your forecast for the election? Trump or Biden?
Boy. Wow. I have a lot of hope that Biden will be elected by a lot of votes, because that's the only way it's going to be a peaceful transition of power. I think there's going to be huge problems. So I don't know if it's just my wishful thinking or what, but that's my strong hope.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It will be not so funny as for with Trump. However, it's maybe more peaceful and more good, better for the Americans.
Oh, I can't wait for it to be boring. I can't wait to not have to talk about the president every day.
Yes.
We're all very excited to be bored again. Come on, boring, sleepy Joe, make me sleepy.
But it may be not so boring, because it may be some interesting jail of Trump or something. Trial of Trump or something like that.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. He's saying now in his speeches, what am I gonna do if I lose? I'll have to leave the country. You've got to vote for me. Don't let me lose. Yeah, you're gonna leave the country, buddy, because if you don't, the Washington, New York State, New York City, all of them have pending cases that are just waiting for him to not be the president. They're gonna slap him in cuffs.
Yeah. Let's see. It would be very.
It's crazy. Who would vote for somebody that the minute they're not president, they will be arrested, and that's 100% count on it? Who's gonna vote? Who votes for this guy? Who thinks like that?
I know
it's
many
amazing.
people in Facebook who would vote for Trump.
Yeah, and this is why I quit Facebook. Lunatics in that place. The loony asylum. Yeah, I don't do Twitter either. Forget it. I give up on that stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, we're really glad to see you again. Yes.
Yeah, good to see you too. You look great.
You too. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. All right. Stay healthy, man.
Yes. Take care. Okay. Bye. See you.